presented by Coca-Cola. I'm Tiffany, that's Jay. Joining us on stage now, the Delaware State Hornets, led by their head coach Lee Hull, along with Charles Brown Jr. and Jordan Hull. Thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it. Now, Coach, we're going to put you on the hot seat and ask you a few questions. Guys, we'll do the same as well. But when you look at last season, and it was a challenging one indeed, how do you turn the tide in year two in Dover to try to get more wins on the board?
I think it comes up to about these guys right here, our players. They've bought into the system, the standards, the expectations. Year two, usually your biggest jump is from year one to year two. So it was one of those situations where we just had to implement our standard, and our expectations for these guys. They've had a great winter, great spring ball, great summer access. So I look for us to take that next step.
Coach Hull, I mentioned earlier in the broadcast here that you've won a championship before in this conference and made it to the postseason. How close is Delaware State to getting to that spot where you feel like, this is a team that can compete for that championship? Where are you on that schedule? We're
moving towards that direction. I really feel good about where we're at and the progress that we're making. It's not overnight. You're going to get there. This league is tough. Every coach here in this league has won a championship at some level. So it's very competitive, but I think we're going in the right direction. Our athletic director has done a great job of trying to get us what we need to be successful. Our players are bought in. I think that you'll see the energy, the effort, the physicality of our football team compared to last year.
And you can't talk about college football today without mentioning the word change. So there's change everywhere you look at in the whole college football landscape. What have been some of the big changes at Delaware State? Who were some of those people?
Yeah, so we've got a few guys from the portal. You're talking about the changes. Justice Johnson, from University of Virginia. On the offensive line, we brought in three new guys. Antonio Williams also from Wagner. And then on the defensive line, we brought in three guys there too. So our biggest thing is we want to try to get bigger and longer, especially up front. So that was kind of our changes that what we did in the recruiting area.
Before I turn it over to Tiffany to ask some questions to the young gentlemen that are here with us, just my reflection. I think Delaware State, I think tough. Right? You got all them Jersey boys up there with you. You got them Philadelphia boys up there with you. There's a natural toughness coming there. And I remember just thinking, it was like the toughest road trip in the conference for me. Not easy to get to. It's a bus ride. No matter where you go, where you fly to, it's a bus ride. It's going to be windy. Don't let that racetrack got something going on there. Y'all got a home field advantage you need to learn to take advantage of. And if the team comes up there not pumped up, hyped up, it's easy to leave there with an L. So that's my little hint to Delaware State. Take advantage of that home field advantage that you have there. It's not an easy road trip.
No, it's not. It's not really easy. And what you talked about, physicality, that's what we want to get back to. I know Delaware State their history has been good defense. And they got tough guys that'll come down and hit you. So with our, transfers and the guys that we have coming back, I think we got a good mix. Especially up front, our front seven, I think is going to be pretty formidable this year. We got Charles Brown here, and then we got two transfers, one from Houston, one from Charlotte coming in also, in that linebacker group. So, yeah, we want to get back to, who we were and who we are at Delaware State, and that's being tough and physical on defense.
Junior linebacker Charles Brown Jr., Coach just talked about that toughness that you're looking to get back to. What is the attitude of that defensive unit, and what kind of presence do you want the Hornets to have on the field?
I think the biggest thing is being relentless. So our biggest thing is 11 hats to the football on any given play. So it's effort and just being able to fly around to the ball.
You've been in the system, Jordan, and understanding, yes, you know this gentleman very well, but kind of separate for us coach versus father.
Yeah, it's just going back to, as a kid, I always wanted to play for my father, and I always knew that if that was going to happen someday, it's going to have to be a separation between at home and on the field. And a lot of that has to do with, my teammates around me accepting me as, just a teammate, not the coach's son. So they make me feel like I am. When I'm at school, I'm a football player at Delaware State University. I'm not just the coach's son. So And I think my father's done a great job of, separating the two when it comes to me as well. So.
Degree in hand, a graduate student as you return. I'm going to ask, gentlemen, because when you look back at a one-win season, that can be tough to swallow, right? But what type of character do you feel like you developed in that time during the 2023 campaign?
I think for us, it's just knowing that we have so much, growth now from the off season to now. We know we have so much room to improve. And when you lose, it's easy to pinpoint, what was done wrong. So I think for us, it was just being able to see those flaws and addressing them.
Biggest key to success in your mind for this upcoming season?
I think just making sure we're firing on all cylinders, just everyone moving as one unit. I think we have the talent to do great things this year. So as long as the camaraderie and we're all fluent on offense and defense, we can make things work.
You all have just represented the Delaware State Hornets exceptionally well. Student athletes, yes, but let's get to know you a little bit better in terms of what are you doing away from football, Charles?
That's pretty simple. I got 3 dogs at home, so I really just spend time with my family at home and with them. I don't really do too much off the field.
So you're like a dog whisperer, okay, so what are the breeds of the dogs? I mean, how do they help calm you or just keep you company?
Yeah, I have 2 Cane Corsos. They're brothers. They came out
Ooh,
the
them
same
big dogs.
Yeah. And then my dog, she's a American XL Bully.
Okay. All right. I am not a dog person. Jay, you know a little bit more about dogs.
I know those are some big dogs.
Those are
Cane
some big
Corsos.
dogs.
I know those Cane Corsos. Jordan, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Who's the best athlete in your family?
You're looking at them.
Coach Hull, you gonna agree with that?
I got to plead the fifth because they're both my siblings, so I got to plead the fifth.
We'll talk about your sister for a little bit.
I mean, she's great. I'm very proud of her. Just growing up with her, always just seeing her progress. She's always been in the spotlight. She's always been phenomenal.
They don't know who she is. You got to hype her up. What did your sister do?
Oh, my sister plays basketball at North Carolina, UNC.
Yeah, going to UNC, big time recruit. So hats off to that for the job you did there, Coach Hull.
She won Miss Basketball for the state of Indiana in high school. And she's taken on from me and my father.
There you go. She got it from you. She got it. There you go.
And I think watching, us do what we do in sports really motivated her to be the person she is, and we're more than proud of her, of what she's accomplished so far and what she will accomplish.
Fantastic, gentlemen. Thank you so much, Jordan, Charles, Coach Hull. We appreciate you and certainly look forward to seeing what the Hornets have in store.
Best of luck to y'all. Take a negative and turn it into a positive.
Yes, sir.
A negative times a negative equals a positive. Yes, that's what y'all should be doing, all right?
All right.
Indeed. When we return, we'll hear from the number 5 team picked in the MEAC preseason poll. The Norfolk State Spartans come back with us to Norfolk.